Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is the summary for the day of 918 for the 29th of August. Press the like button. And so, if not, you will have to fly the F16 in your Ukraine. Anyway, talking about F-16s. So we can now pretty much confirm there's an F-16 that has been destroyed. A Ukrainian F-16 was destroyed on the 26th of August. So according to the Ukrainian Air Force, they have posted a entire update. Basically, is this one. By the Ukrainian Air Force, this is actually a ceremony, almost like a funeral of sort. And this the I think the wife or mom of this pilot, and so they even have two MiG-29 doing a fly pass, to kind of like cry for this pilot that was dead, which is kind of an unusual thing because I have seen so many but I have reported so many Ukrainian planes getting destroyed. But I think this is the first time I see the Ukrainian Air Force actually posted something so exclusive. So the pilot's name is actually called Alexei Mez. The nickname or code name is Moonfish. So according to the Ukrainian Air Force, it was said that on the August 26th, which was when the Russians launched the mass missile and drone strike, and so this pilot actually destroyed three cruise missile and one attack UAV, which is probably a Garand 2 drone, and basically he lost his life, and then that's all. They didn't mention how. So how he lost his life, and then he was posthumously awarded the military rank of a colonel, full colonel. So this is Slava Ukraini again. And then, according to major articles all around the world, they have been reporting that there's an F-16 that crashed, and it looks like this is probably the same guy, because according to the article by Ukrainska Pravda, they say that Moonfish or Alexei Mez actually killed in the F-16 crash. When this article was out, it wasn't exactly clear how, and I believe that it's most likely that he crashed when he was trying to intercept a drone, because of the ground drones are flying way too slow for jet fighters, generally speaking, and maybe he was trying to intercept this drone and then the plane crashed through stalling. Because when you fly too slow, the plane would stall. Although F-16 is fly by wire, it should have some kind of better capability, I guess. I'm not sure. I'm not a pilot. So, but this has happened before. I believe there was a MiG-29 that was also crashed due to trying to intercept a drone. So, if you look at the report from the Air Force, Ukrainian Air Force, they say that he destroyed 3 cruise missile and 1 attack UAV, and probably this is the UAV that got him killed. So, yeah, trying to intercept a drone is actually pretty hazardous. I mean, they use helicopters to shoot at the drones usually. So imagine using a jet fighter. That's a bit like overkill. And I think, and with F-16 being not a Ukrainian type of aircraft, because Ukraine usually flies Soviet aircrafts, maybe the lack of flying hours, contributed to the lack of understanding of the flight envelope for the F-16, and maybe caused a misjudgment. And this is probably one of the very first combat operation he probably get involved with, because the F-16 is still so new in Ukraine. So anyway, so we have in a way the confirmation, because this guy is known to be F-16 trained, and then now he killed in the mission. So by connecting the dots, F-16 have crashed. So there are a lot of other rumors, like he got shot down by Patriot through a friendly fire. There's also other stories that he got destroyed on the ground through an Iskander strike. Personally, I think I will stick to the official source. I think, yeah, because because all are rumors, generally speaking, and if they are all cannot be confirmed, then we go for the official narrative, which is that he actually died in mission. So it is what it is. Yeah, I think they only have 6 F-16s, so this is gone. So anyway, then we go to the frontline changes. Not frontline changes. The frontline, strategy and tactical reporting, and we start off with Kursk. So we in terms of bombardment, we still have the cluster of bombardments over in this Kharkiv region at Protokovo, Pervomaisky, Esman, Kharkiv, as well as Shalis Haini. And this continues to put into question if there is some kind of a Ukrainian force that is poisoning themselves or preparing for some kind of offensive. And this comes at the same time where the Ukraine is actually sending reinforcement into the Kursk front. So surprisingly, they are tripling down. So not just doubling down. First, I believe the operation would have ended. The entire Kursk offensive would have ended in 2 weeks, because I think that by 2 weeks' time, by the first week, the Ukrainians would know that the mission would have failed, and maybe by the second week, the Russians would have pushed them back. But in that second week, the Ukrainians actually sent in reinforcement, and they continue to push harder. So this is probably triple down already. We have reinforcement reported in the Ogovka-Durovka region. We have reinforcement reported at Lyubimovka, Pokrovsk, as well as Leonidovo, which means that the Ukrainians are continue to build up a big force, and they're trying to do something more in this in the Kursk front, particularly over in this sector. And the fact that they push in largely this area is either they're going northward or they're going to go westward. And going westward is very highly plausible, given the fact that we are still waiting for the Glushkovo pincer to happen. This pincer is still not yet happened, and I think the window of opportunity is floating away, and this is actually very bad for the Ukrainians. There's other shelling reports coming in the area of Tekino, Tekino, with shelling reported in this very complicated name, Iskriskiv Skinner, something like this, Iskriskiv, as well as Bilopilia. So this two locations also got shelled. This is also the area where I believe Ukrainians need to do an offensive in order to do the pincer to capture Tekino. I think that behind there is not much defense line. So if they can break through Tekino, they should be able to go far, but it still have not happened yet. Over the western flank, over at in the Snagos region, we have the Russians continue their pinning operation of the Ukrainians. The Ukrainians are still trying to go for Komarovka, but it did not work out. The Russian source say that they retreated back to Vishnevka. The Russians are still attacking Ukrainian forces in these various regions. Not ground offensive per se, it might be just bombardments. Over at Krasno-Otyabrsky, over at the Vishnevka, Snagos, and Penosovka. And for the first time, we have Bakovo as well. And shelling is also reported in the rear position at Obukovka. So the Russians are ramping up the counter actions within the Snagos region. This is actually more than previous reports. Usually it was just around the Snagos region, but this time now we have Bakovo and Obukovka getting involved in this fighting as well. So we're going to continue to monitor the situation, whether the Ukrainians can actually break through, or would there be reinforcement coming into Snagos, which will then make a harder push through this region here. So the Ukrainians previously attacked Krasno-Otyabrsky. They even attacked west of Penosovka, and this did not happen. So this which means that the Ukrainian offensive around this Snagos region is getting weaker. And bad news continue over in the Karenevo region, also in the western flank. The Russian forces have counterattacked, or they have never left the position. They basically have retaken almost all of Karenevo on the eastern part of the city, and the Ukrainians are still trying to attack Karenevo, but the more they attack, the bigger the more front line goes to the Russians, which makes no sense. So the Ukrainians need to try harder, if they really wanted that badly. So and over in the Ogovka region, as mentioned, the Ukrainian forces are sending reinforcement into this area around Durovka, which is over here, and Ogovka. So the Ukrainians are sending reinforcement to this area. Perhaps they are trying to break through and open up and create a more defendable flank. And so that's about it. And there is fighting reported at Kremenyannoe as well. So you can see that this is the operation that the Ukrainians are doing, and the Russians are counter-attacking over in the Karanevo region only. And we have news over in the northern flank. In the northern flank of the Kursk front, we have finally some news. According to the Russian sources, they say that there is some information. It is random. They say that scattered groups of Ukrainian forces was recorded previously around Stepatovkovka, Sheptukovka, sorry, I just slaughtered the name, because I'm hungry. We need to chop it up to eat, to cook pork chop. Anyway, Sheptukovka. So around this region, but it's not exactly per se captured per se. Like they don't really exactly know what the hell is happening. Also, they said the Ukrainians are attacking around all this region, and they don't even talk about the time frame. And so I will just take it as rumor for now. It's not really a very good report, but they just wanted to highlight that there is still Ukrainian operations around this area here. So, which is good to know. Over in the central flank, we have fighting reported in Novaya Soroshina. According to the Russian Defense Ministry, reinforcement was reported at Leonidovo, as mentioned. So there could be a force around here. Maybe they want to break through or reinforce the northern flank. Who knows? And we move further to the eastern flank. At the eastern flank, we have fighting reported over in Cherkasskoye Parashnoye, which the Ukrainians are attacking. They are also attacking over in Matanovka. So, am I correct? Yeah, Matanovka. Correct. Yeah, Ukrainian attack. The Russians are counter-attacking over in Cherkasskoye Parashnoye, and they have shelled Kubakin. So let's wait and see how this develop. Over the Suja sector, the Russians are counter-attacking largely in this region here. They are attacking Makhailovka, Komovka, Komalkov, oh my god, and Cherkasskoye Konopelka. Ukrainians are counter-attacking or attacking over this region here. The fact that the Russians are attacking Komalkov might suggest that the Ukrainians actually have control around here, and which would make sense because this salient don't make sense. It could be a more straightened line, and the Ukrainians may have already captured Kolmarkov, but this cannot be confirmed tentatively, so we're just going to leave it as such for now. Russian are shelling Zaleshenka as well as Zubanskina. So this is the current strategic situation around Sudzha. Sudzha is still not very secured per se, given how close the Russian forces are in this region here. So this is actually quite a disaster, I would say, to not able to break out and secure Sudzha better. So, and furthermore, let's move south. In the southern flank, we have the Ukrainians attacking. So it should be here. Okay, attacking Borki as well as Sponoe. Russian forces are counter-attacking at Borki as well as Blackhovo. This is basically the same exact situation in previous situation reports. And if you have noticed, in my mapping, I have left all the bombardment reports from previous ones. The reason is because I needed to map in all this to track Ukrainian forces positions, and if every time I delete it and I have to replot it, it takes a lot of time, and it's a lot of places getting bombarded, which is why I left it there to speed up my mapping. So for those that find there's a lot of icons there, you can always watch other channels. So then over over at the shelling, also we have shelling at Shumi as well as Mikhailivsky. So nothing much, not very important per se. Mikhailivsky is just next to Kolotilivka. Ukrainians previously seems to wanted to attack in this area here after it failed, and realizing that the Chechens are here, they still have not tried it again. So sometimes I also wonder why they don't just cross in other part of the border. Is it like can it not cross through here? I mean, what's the difference? I actually don't really understand, no? Like, why not just cross through the other part of the border? Why must you use the roads? But no, what do I know? No, because I'm not there. So we move on over at the Kharkiv front. At the Kharkiv front, we only have fighting reported over in the Lipsy sector at Lipsy as well as Voschansk. This this has become just like, you know, the Oskil fronts, you know, the Kupiansk, the Sviatoves in the past, where it's just a stagnant front. We have reports of fighting, but nothing ever happens. It looks like Kharkiv have went to sleep. That's pretty much what I feel. What I felt around here. What is this? Okay, delete this. I just realized that, you know, that gray icon is pointless there. So we move into the Kupiansk front. At the Kupiansk front, we have Russians attacking in Sinkivka, Petropolivka, and Stepova Novoselivka. Over at the Sinkivka region, there is a straighten of the front line according to the Russian mapping. This is not acknowledged by the Ukrainians yet. So, but that's about it. It's a reaction to the geolocations previously. So the Russian map it like this. So, which is more bullish than what I have mapped. Generally, the Russian source and DPA both look at the same geolocation, and we map it differently. So in case you want to know. So and now moving into the Pischane front. At the Pischane front, the Russian forces are attacking in Terbaivka region, in the Pischane region, and towards Kolesnikivka. And based on the Russian mapping, they have mapped that they have made some advance in this area here. This so the one at towards Kolesnikivka is actually by the Ukrainian mapping. This one is a Russian mapping. So the Terbaivka one, so the straighten of the front line in the north here is by the Russian mapping. So it's just a claim. So the one west of Pischane is by the Ukrainian mapping, which is now confirmed capture by the Russian side. So they are pushing for Kolesnikivka as well, and it's actually making more progress than the one at Klyakivka, which we have mapped it yesterday. So we're going to continue to monitor the situation around here. This is looking really tense and scary because the Russians are not really far away. They are just around 4 kilometers, just below 4 kilometers away from Kolesnikivka. And fighting reaching here would just disrupt logistics north and south of these two sectors. So this is not good for the Ukrainians. So moving into the further south, moving further south in this northern part of Sviatove front, we have fighting reported towards Lozova, which is over here, Stemakivka, Masyozarivka, Andrievka, and west of what is this place called? Zerane. Sorry, it's like the power trip. Zerane. So that is the current situation around here. Some weird mapping situation, and there's one rumor first before I talk about the mapping situation. According to the Russian sources, they say that there are some reports claiming Stemakivka has been captured by the Russian forces. I got a feeling this is going to be fake news. I don't think that's the case. Because yeah, just look at it. Look at the map. Suddenly, Russian capturing it will be like huge news, right? Yeah, then I will have to say collapse again. You know, when I say collapse again, people get triggered. So because people complains about it in the comments, so it won't happen. Over in the Novoselivsky region, I previously seems to have mapped this, but maybe I forgot to map it into the map. So the Russian forces have this tree line. This confirmed by the Ukrainian side, but the Ukrainians continue to claim Ukrainian presence within this salient, which is abnormal. So I don't think this is going to be the case, but I just want to highlight that this is mapped by the Ukrainian side. And major frontline changes over in the Andrievka, which is the Russians taking the almost half or more than half of Andrievka. The entire eastern bank of the Zerebets River has been taken, as well as some parts in the west of Zerelny. So this is a flip-flop situation. It have come and go. This is this position has been previously achieved by the Russians previously, I think around 1 month ago. So the Russians are back again. So let's see how this develop. So let's move on, and moving further south, on the southern part of the Sviatove front, we have fighting reported at Sverdlovky Bove. Freaking hell, I learned how to pronounce this word. I too long never pronounced it. I don't know how to pronounce it now. Sverdlovky Bove and Sheneshchina, Druzelyubivka, and Makievka. So this Sheneshchina is the first time we have seen this being reported or mentioned as an attack in this region here. So we just got to monitor. The fact that we are seeing reports naming all these locations is really weird by the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. So I wonder if there is some kind of Russian advance in this region that we do not know of. So let's see. We move further south. Over in the Crimea front, we have fighting reported at Nevsky, Torsk, as well as Serbiansky Forestry. So that's about it in the Crimea front. Very quiet. This one is a static front, so not very important. Moving into the Siversk front. At the Siversk front, Russian forces attacking at Verkhovnoye, Vimka, and shelling was reported in Serbianka. So that's about it from Siversk front. We move into the Bakhmut front. At the Bakhmut front, the actions is mainly over in the central and the southern part, with fighting reported at Chasivya, Stupovsky, Klishevka, and Andrievka. So the entire northern flank situation just went quiet again. So it looks like the offensive in the northern half of Bakhmut is not really that committed. So it might be just distraction, diversion attempts to confuse the Ukrainians into where the main offensive is going to come. And I still don't believe the Russians will go for Chasivya unless the Ukrainians don't defend it at all. So I don't think this is going to be the case. The southern part makes more sense to try to go for the canal. So let's wait and see how this develop. Moving into the New York front. At the New York front, Russian forces continue their the offensive in the region, with fighting reported at Druzhba, Torex, Zalizny, south of Torex, Nelipivka, Sukabalka, and Alexandropil. So this continues to be a very active offensive front line. And particularly, we have some major developments around Torex, with Russian forces improving their front line at Druzhba. They have created a bit of buffer in the north of the high-rise zone. They have seemingly cleared out the forest in the Pivnishny region, and they have also have expanded a little bit around this south Torex direction in the region of Zabalka. So this is not mapped. This closing of the salient is not reported by the Ukrainian side, but like I mentioned, due to the pincer, it's impossible that the Ukrainians are going to stay there. So the current situation continues to deteriorate for the Ukrainians, but it's a bit unusual. It's a big. The city is actually a big city, so I don't think the progress will be very fast. So let's continue to watch this space. Over in the New York sector, in the Nelipivka region, the Ukrainian Defense Ministry made a very weird statement saying that fighting, not is it where is the fighting? Oh, it's not here anymore. I remember reading something about Nelipivka being attacked from 3 sides. So never mind. So Nelipivka continues to be attacked, or maybe that was yesterday's report. Yeah, my brain is not working because you didn't press the like button. You see, it's your fault. It's always your fault. And then So Nelipivka continued to be under pressure. New York situation continued to be a question mark. Russians have straightened the lines around Sukabalka region as they slowly push west, and there's fighting reported at Alexandropil. So let's watch this and see how this goes. This is tactically a bit difficult, I think, a bit complicated terrain for the Ukrainians. Moving into the Pokrovsk front, Pokrovsk offensive continues, and of course, the whole front line is burning. So let's go into sectors just like we do during the days of the Avdiivka front. In the northern flank, we have Russians pushing for Zelenipole, Divizenka, and towards Mirolubivka. So this continues. This is not the main direction, not the main push. So no need to worry about that. Over in the Horodivka sector, let's do this. Okay, let's just do Horodivka. Horodivka sector, the Russian forces are attacking in the region of Horodivka. They are attacking towards Mykolaiivka, and they are fighting in the region of Novohorodivka. So why did I put it below? I don't understand. I don't understand myself. Wait, why did I put it below? Yeah, like this. Your fault. It's your fault again. Didn't press the like button. You see. So of course we have the Marolibivka in the north. So this continues to be the main direction, I feel, and as they push towards Mirnograd. So let's continue to develop. Wait for the development for more news. There's no frontline change here. And then over at the Selidove sector, we have fighting reported in Marinivka, Selidove, Mikhailivka, and towards Ukrainsk. So this is the continuing offensive in the other direction. So there's actually two main directions. One towards Minograd, the other one is towards Selidove. Both are second bosses. So let's see how this goes. So if I zoom out a bit, final boss is here. This is the second boss. Then this is an alternate second boss. So the Russians are attacking in actually two different directions. So let's see how this goes. Over at the Donetsk front, we have fighting reported at Khalivka, Krasnohorivka, and Georgievka. So this continues, but not much news regarding this area here. Moving further south, in the Konstantinivka region, major news: geolocation of Russian forces in the Dacha, confirming the Russians have continued to make progress from the direction of Paraskovievka, and this confirms the fact that the Russians have very firm control right now over in Konstantinivka. However, the Ukrainians have not reacted to the situation in Konstantinivka, so we still have not been able to give the flag to the Russians yet. Despite the reality, probably is the Russians have firm control over Konstantinivka already. Moving further south from Konstantinivka, over in the Voleda region, we have fighting reported in the Vodiane region as well as Voleda region. So there's no more updates regarding the Palivka situation, where I thought that they could continue to push north. Tentatively, nothing on that. So that's still new, still early days. So let's see how this develop. Over in the rest of the Donetsk front, we have fighting reported towards Velika Novosilka and towards Novoyukrainka. So Novoyukrainka has been mentioned quite often, and this time around I decided to put it in, and I forgot to put the link in, but it's okay. But that's about it from this region. We move into the Zaporizhia front. At the Zaporizhia front, we have a few updates, mainly over at Malatomashka and Robotine. This is the continuation of the yesterday's report by the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. The Russian Defense Ministry mentioned fighting towards Stepove as well as shelling of Palivka. So the two sides, the two defense ministry, continue to concentrate on different regions in the Zaporizhia front, which is very interesting. So let's continue to wait and see how this goes. And we move to the Kherson front. At the Kherson front, there is no updates, and it's interesting because I haven't said the phrase I always say today. It is what it is. So that's all for the situation report, or the SITREP, or the summary for the day of 918 for the 29th of August. Frontline changes report, as usual, is already published. If you don't like this video, it's so long. You see, you watch until 28 minutes, like so long. So go and watch the frontline changes report. It's shorter. But if you watch to this point, it's kind of like stupid. But anyway, then you wouldn't have to watch the frontline changes report, because we also covered the frontline changes here. So anyway, thank you for watching. Press the like button, subscribe, and follow me on the Telegram and also on Twitter, and also join the community, the DPA community, in DPA chat, DPA forum, Discord. No, all the links are in the description below. Check it out, and I'll see you guys in the next update.